So this question says, of the 7 participants in a professional meeting, 450 are female, and half of the female and 1/4 of the male participants are less than 30 years old. If one of the participants will be randomly selected to receive a prize, what is the probability that the person selected will be less than 30 years old? So to make some sense with this, I will say let F represent the females, and that will be what? We have 450 of them. And let M represent what? Males, and that will give us what? 300 of them from the question. How do I know it is 300? If there are 450 females out of 750, then it implies that the remaining will be male. That will be what? 300. Basically, the males will be 750. Maybe I should put it this way. The males, M will be the males, which will be 750. That's the total number of participants minus what? Minus female. That will be 750 minus 450. And that will give us what? 300. So there are 300 males and 450 females, which gives 750. Now the question now goes further that okay, if one of the participants will be randomly selected to say what's the probability that the person selected will be less than 30 years. What we have here is that 450 are females, and half of the female and 1/4 of the male are what? Less than 30 years. So we now say less than what? 30 years. Less than 30 years. So those that are less than 30 years, half of the female. So for the female, those that are less than 30 years will be what? 1/2 of the total number of females. That is what? 450. So half of 450 will give us what? 225. So among the males, right, how many of them are less than 30 years? That is 1/4 of the number of males of 300. So this will give us 300 divided by 4. That is what? 75. So those that are less than 30 years among the female is 225, and among the male is 75. All right. So the question now says that what is the probability that a person selected will be less than 30 years? So probability of those less than what? 30 what? Years, right, will be what? Number of those less than what? Let me put it this way. Number of those less than 30 years over what? Over total number of what? People. So how many people are less than 30 years? We have what? 225 and 75. So we now say probability of less than 30 what? Years will now be number of those less than 30 years. That will be what? 225 plus what? 75. Then over total number of participants over 750. So if we solve it further, we now have the probability of what? Less than 30 what? Years, right, will now be what? 225 plus 75. That is what? 300 over what? Over 750. So 300 over what? Over 750. This cancel this, right? How many? Okay, what can we use to elevate? This will give us what? 12 over what? Over 30, right? Yes, 12 over 35. 5. Okay, no. Is it 10? Can I use 10? No, let's put it this way. I'm still on point, right? 10. 5 in 30. 5 in 30. That is what? 6. And then 5 in 75. That is what? 15. So we have 6 over 15, and 6 over 15 we can still simplify. 3 in 6, that is what? 2, and 3 in 15, that is what? 5. So this will give us what? 2 over 5. So the correct answer to this particular question is what? 2 over 5, which is the probability. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.